If you will, turn in your Bibles to Genesis 11. Genesis 11.
All right. I like this demonstration.
Might help if I turn my Bible to Genesis 11. That way I'll be in sync with the church. One thing that man always strives for is to get to heaven.
Thank you, Lord.
Well, we're going to talk about a group this morning that decided that they were going to build a tower. And they were going to build it tall enough that it would reach all the way up into heaven.
Wow.
Thank you, Lord.
And they'd be able to go to heaven by going through that tower. Chapter 11, Genesis, starts out, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there.
Thank you, Lord.
And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. Now, here it says, go to. It says, and they said one to another, go to. If you look at the Greek word for go to that was translated, it can also be translated as come. So that verse might make more sense if you read it. And they said one to another, come, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. Now slime was like this liquid mixture stuff that they had, and they put it between the bricks, and it would dry up and harden like mortar, like cement or concrete. So it was the version of what they had for concrete in those days. So they made all these bricks, and they had all of this slime to hold it together. And they said, go to, or come, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. So they said, we're going to build this tower, and we're going to build it so high that it's going to reach into heaven. And this tower, we know the story is the Tower of Babel. Some people pronounce it Babel. But the Tower of Babel, excuse me. So they said, they're going to build this up there, and this way they'll have a way to get to heaven. So it says, and the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. Lord is in all capital letters here. So that's the same thing as saying God himself. So God came down himself. And God says, let's see what this tower in the city that the children are building.
Come on.
So God comes down and he sees it, and it says, and the Lord, or God, said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Now that sounds like a strange verse, but God come down here and he said, well, right now they all speak one language. Now this wasn't too many years after the flood that Noah, where there was only 8 people left on the earth. And then they went out and multiplied, and their children multiplied, and so on. So this wasn't too long after the flood. So at this time, we didn't have all these different languages that we have. They all spoke the same language, and they all understood each other. So God said they all speak one language. And then he said something that sounded kind of strange. he said, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. What God was saying, God says, well, they think they can build a tower all the way up to heaven. And if I let them complete that tower, if I let them finish building it, then they're going to think in their minds there ain't anything that they can't accomplish. There ain't they can do anything they set their mind to. Kind of like the attitude mankind has today. But if I let them complete this, then they're going to think, well, there ain't anything I can do. Not only that, I won't need God because we did this manually with our own labor. We found a way to get to heaven. So we won't need God. So this upsets God a little bit. You know, so God says, pretty much he's saying, well, I can't let them get away with this. I've got to do something to stop them from building this tower. Go to, or come, let us go down and there confound their language that they may not understand one another's speech. God's talking, I believe, talking to Jesus here. Because, you know, Jesus is there with God from the very beginning. He said, come on, let us go down there. And he said, what we're going to do is we're going to confound their language. The word confound, again, the Greek word also has the meaning to mix up. So we're going to go down there and we're going to mix up their language. We're going to give them all these different languages. They're not going to be able to understand each other. If they can't understand each other, they're not going to be able to finish building the tower because they won't understand what they're telling each other or how to work together to build this tower.
Yeah.
So God comes down, he mixes up the language, all these different ones are talking different languages. So what happens now, the ones that are speaking this language all get together as a group. And the ones that are speaking this language all get together as a group. Since they don't understand each other anymore, they can't continue to build this tower. They have to go their separate ways. They have to be separated or scattered. So God said, let us go down there and let's mix up their language. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth and mix it up, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. That's what I was talking about. They had to go and scatter themselves out over the earth. They no longer was building on this city except for the ones that stayed in that city, the group that spoke whatever language it was used for. And they called it Babel. Now, Babel is confusion. That translates to confusion, if you look it up in Strong's. So what's going on here is, you ever had someone just talking and just going in every different direction, and you have no clue what they're talking about?
Right, yes.
So what do you babbling about? That's where that came from, babble, because there's this confusion and it don't make any sense. What in the world are you babbling about? What I thought I'd like to do this morning is, since the tower didn't work, let's see if we can build something to get ourselves to heaven. I've got our building material right here. And what I thought we would do, since we have us a captain here, I think the thing to do is, the first thing we'll do is we'll build ourselves a sailboat.
Yeah.
And we're going to sail our way to heaven. We're just going to get out there in the water and we're going to let that wind blow us, and we're just going to sail our way to heaven, and the captain, he's going to guide us. So,
Don't get rid of that.
do you think we're going to get to heaven that way? No. Well, that didn't work. Maybe we need something tougher than a sailboat. So, let's do this. Let's build ourselves a building. A tower didn't get us there, but let's build us a building and let's put us a steeple on this building and let's call this building a church. Hey, if you want to get to heaven, you're going to do it through church, right? You're going to go through that building. I go to church, so I must be, I'm going to heaven.
No, they ain't gonna get me there.
Ain't going to get you there? You just, well, I guess we're going to have to get even more, maybe something more modern. Will get us there. Let's build us something a little bit. Heaven's up high, on high places. So let's build us a plane. On all phones.
I know, I was sitting here thinking, man, if I had that piece of paper, I'd be doing it with it, so I know.
I should have thought of that.
Yeah.
I should have thought of that. Well, we got a plane now. We couldn't get there through the water, we couldn't get there through the church, so let's go to heaven by flying.
Be closer anyway.
We get up there, we can go what, 30, 40,000 foot with no problem. We're gonna fly to heaven.
Nah, they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, won't work.
Is it because it's upsetting God that we're trying to find ways to get to heaven? By using our skills? By using what we have? Well, if that's not gonna get us there, then we need something even more modern, right? How about this? How about a rocket?
Nah, rocket ain't gonna get you there either.
Rocket ain't gonna get me there either.
And it got enough fuel.
But it goes higher than a plane.
It does.
It goes a lot higher than a plane. It leaves the earth.
Right.
It goes outside of there. That's gotta be getting closer to heaven.
It don't want to go.
They don't wanna go. Well, then how are we gonna get to heaven? Well,
Cross.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the only way that we can get to heaven is by the cross. The only way we're gonna get there.
It did take me a week to figure that out.
Thank you, Jesus. Wow.
We can't get to heaven by plane. We can't get to heaven by a sailboat. We can't get to heaven by a tower. God doesn't like us trying to get to heaven that way. He's given us a way to get there. That cross is the only way for us to get to heaven. God was upset about the tower. You think he's upset about us trying other ways to get there? The church is not the way to get to heaven. But going there and learning about Jesus, Jesus is the way to get to heaven. We can only get to, he said, no man cometh unto the Father but by me. That's scripture. He wasn't boasting. It's true. It's the truth. The only way we're going to get to heaven is through Jesus. We're not going to get there by building all this fancy stuff. I think some of us are still confused. You know, when he confused them building that tower, I think some of us are confused to speak the same language. But that's the only way.
Thank you, Lord.
We have to learn about Jesus. We have to learn the love of Jesus. We have to learn that he will protect us. We have to learn these things that go along with the Sunday school we had this morning. Goodness. We have to learn that Jesus is the one that we turn to help us get through this life. If we turn to Jesus, if we trust in him, then eventually he's gonna see that we get into heaven. Of course, it was still fun building the rocket ship and the church and sailboat. It's fun building all that, but like I said, it's not gonna get us to heaven.
Thank you.
That's pretty much it this morning.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. What we'll do now is, you got an altar song or something?
You done good. You got the point over. Anybody don't get that point, I can't get it for
I like it when I follow Connie, because she always seems to set it up for me.
You did say this.
them. Don't tell her that.
Hey, she did a testimony one time before my sermon not too long ago, and she set it up perfect.
See, that's what they say, God is bearing witness.
She even had this diagram,
Yeah.
you know, that had all these different heights of situations and how God sees them. So what we'll do is we'll have an altar call to come up here and pray to Jesus, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thank him for giving me a way to get to heaven, for being that bridge, and
You know what?
giving me a way to get to heaven and being that bridge. When Jesus was crucified, that opened the door for me to go straight into God. Have access
I
to
tell
it.
you what, the day can't come too soon for me.